down, so.
Jesse Pinkman in the house!
Is there something I should know?
Each week we break down another Breaking Bad episode, in order, and this week it's Season 3, Episode 8, I See You. I've got 15 details you might not know, including film artifacts that I haven't seen in any other episode and I haven't ever seen pointed out. Jesse's healing a bit. They used a large prosthetic in the last episode and a smaller one here.
If you'd like to smoke, you need to be another 20 feet from the door.
Roll me further, bitch.
Shoulder and hip, through and through. Let's get him 2 grams of oxygen.
Orders for oxygen are given by volume, like liters per minute, not by mass.
What's his hemoglobin? 7.3.
2 large bore IVs.
EMTs wouldn't know the hemoglobin level, but they would have already started IVs.
You okay?
I'm great.
I don't understand. I thought things were going pretty well. I thought we were kind of simpatico.
Not so much, no.
Is this about the temperature setting the other day?
No, it's bigger than that.
Could you elaborate?
Yes, of course I could, but I don't think either of us would necessarily benefit from a prolonged...
Gale left academia to get away from politics and other nonsense, but it finds him here anyway.
I'm classical, but you are more jazz. I require
Classical.
Shit! Man, this is the boss!
Speaking of classical,
What's up, partner? I can't believe
This
this.
is my replacement?
Oh, Jesus! It's all like shiny up in here.
I'm sorry, I must be missing something. I don't mean to be.
Oh! Oh!
This
No!
makes no sense. I guess this is.
so awkward.
You haven't talked to anybody today other than Captain Nerd there.
Why?
Your brother-in-law.
I'm so sorry. Can you tell us anything?
They didn't have any ID on them, probably Mexican nationals.
Why does the camera go to Gomi on
Their
that?
tattoos indicated an affiliation with a drug cartel.
This is the first time Jennifer wrote something for TV. She's a longtime writer's assistant, although before this, Vince gave her a test by having her write 2 of the webisodes. One was Twat Hammer, which becomes relevant later.
Brother-in-law's one tough son of a bitch. Considering he didn't even have his gun.
They didn't have his gun.
Marie, the assault charge. I had to suspend Hank pending the investigation. That means I had to take away his weapon.
If you would have all listened to him right from the start and let him arrest that little degenerate, he wouldn't have had to take things into his own hands. You were supposed to back him up, and where were you?
Yes.
Texas. The DEA is not welcome here.
It's not just them, it's you, Walt.
Hank would have never even heard his name if you hadn't bought marijuana from him.
You're looking for someone to blame, and it's understandable, but don't blame Walt. It's not his fault.
I'm sorry.
They used a part of the hospital that was inactive, which probably explains the missing sign where you'd expect it to say emergency. There is a visible Starbucks sign, though. This magazine is from the future. The episode takes place in May 2009, but it's from October 2009. This is typical Walt to fixate on this, just like the mustard stain, the
Rot.
or perhaps even the loose tape inside the RV. When he's in an uncontrollable situation, he does this as a way to feel like he has some control.
Hello! Jesse Pinkman in the house!
Walter White, please pick up a courtesy phone.
Yo, you working sometime this year?
What the hell are you thinking?
Just put a clock on it for me.
I'll get there when I get there.
Whatever. I'll just cook on my own.
You will do no such thing.
Why not?
For starters, you aren't the least bit familiar with any of the equipment.
There's gotta be some sort of manual.
Jesse, touch nothing.
Yo, stop treating me like I'm your assistant. I'm not your bitch to order around. We're partners. Remember?
Thank you very much for your kind words. We really do appreciate that.
Tell your douchebag brother-in-law to head towards the light.
Do you know who that was?
Give it up, Walt. This wall makes me think of the Wexler-McGill wall.
This fork is absolutely filthy. You've got good eyes. Look at that.
Those are just water spots.
It's dirt.
It's water spots. Ours at home aren't any better.
Yours at home are irrelevant.
Ouch.
You're in a hospital.
I'm not actually sure if the cafeteria necessarily qualifies as being part of the hospital.
I think they shouldn't try to use logic on Marie right now. It's hard to see, but Betsy confirmed that her necklace has an M for Marie on it.
My God, how are you supposed to survive this death trap?
I survived. What I really remember about that day, we hit every green light. And the whole time, all I could think about was, why can't I just spend a few extra minutes in the car with my family? Anyway, I survived this place, and I'm not half the man your husband is.
Walt's not normally good at speeches, but this one worked.
I was going to ask you the same question.
It sounds like Giancarlo forgot to use his Gus voice for that line.
I heard that they attacked the DEA agent. Why would they do that?
¿Qué onda?
ya no te gusta hablar español?
Giancarlo's Spanish certainly isn't.
Someone gave the go-ahead.
Are you accusing me?
We get the real story from my man who survived. I'll get him the best lawyer, and then we'll learn the truth.
Well, keep me apprised.
Gus has some loose ends to deal with.
What if I ran over to the house and picked up a few things? I could swing by your place.
That'd be great.
I was sure he would use this time to stop by the lab, but I guess he was sincere about this.
I shot him. The one that's left. He's up there, got the painkillers going on, resting comfortably.
Your tax dollars at work.
You gotta see what Hank did to that bastard. Wanna see? Comfortable, you piece of shit.
In reality, Lionel would be under arrest and handcuffed to the bed frame. But then they couldn't have this iconic moment. They did a lot of different things to pull off this scene. Here, his legs are inside the bed. Here, they used visual effects. And here, they used an amputee stuntman. The crawling and the music are just like our first introduction to the cousins. Jesse's singing Fallacies again.
Fallacies on for you.
Finally, about damn time. Yo, we got problems, big ones.
Reverend, so nice of you to call.
Turn your phone on already.
Why don't I just call you right back on my cell phone? Gus came by?
It was the other one. He's got, like, the dead eyes.
I didn't know whose toothbrushes were whose.
I think he should have known the purple one is Marie's.
Candy bars.
Did you see that? One frame of the footage has a flaw in the film.
Uncle Hank gave it to me. Everybody knows who Pablo Escobar is, but nobody knows about the guys that brought him down.
Hey, it happened again. What was going on with the filming in this episode? After Breaking Bad, Brian would go on to star in a movie about an agent who exposes Pablo Escobar's money laundering organization.
I need to.
I assure you, we are hard at work.
So I can expect delivery by tomorrow, Escott.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to
Keep our schedule this week. But not for a lack of trying.
Is there something I should know?
To be completely honest with you, Gail really screwed us up. And I've had to be out running errands, trying to keep us on target. Some of the equipment wasn't calibrated correctly, and well, it's just all very technical and boring.
Walt loves to overcomplicate things when he's lying.
There's a lot of business phraseology being tossed around.
We will do whatever it takes. We'll cook through the weekend if necessary. We will have 400 pounds for you by next week.
I have your word on that.
You have my word on that.
Thank you for the update.
Hey, you like Pollos Hermanos? Orders a big booster for the DEA. You heard what happened? He's gonna feed every cop in the building. He's bringing it by personally.
As it happens, I actually met Agent Schrader.
And there's the third flaw in the film.
Mr. White, your name came up.
Really?
There happened to be a collection jar out for you. I hope that there's been good news.
Things have improved, yes.
For the first time, Walt knows that Gus is aware of his illness, his DEA connection, and the lies he was just telling him. Which brings us to the triple meaning of the episode title. Lionel seeing Walt for the first time, Gus seeing what Walt is really doing, and a play on intensive care unit. As
Say Cap
points out, this pun was repeated on BoJack Horseman.
I keep going back to that moment in the ICU when she looked at me and I see you.
Vince confirmed that there's no additional connection to last season's Peekaboo title.
You know, I didn't say thank you.
I investigate everyone with whom I do business, but Carolyn wouldn't.
Zing.
I was told that the man I would be meeting with is very careful.
Are we done?
This attack on my brother-in-law, I don't know what it means.
I am told the assassin that survived is gravely injured. It's doubtful he'll live.
Time of death, 2043.
Burn in hell, you piece of shit.
I assume you heard the news.
Your man died.
And meanwhile, I have federales surrounding my house. I think you're behind all this.
Why would I do this?
When I get proof, and the others find out what you've done, maybe we come pay you a visit. Maybe we come.
I've always found this little sidestep funny, like he's dancing. It dawned on me that Juan Bolsa only appeared in 3 episodes of Breaking Bad, so now I feel bad for crapping on him in an earlier video. Although he did appear a lot in Better Call Saul, they slowed down this footage. It ends up giving it a bit of a dreamy quality.
I think he's stable enough now for you to go see him brief. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid it's immediate family only.
We're all family.
There's a blooper for this scene that I love so much, I thought I'd share it here.
It's immediate family only.
We're all family.
I understand, but there's a certain protocol.
The episode ends with nice shots of the core family members responding to seeing Hank in this state. Check out the colors of their outfits.
Dread Intuit, say Captain Zylery, our 6-month member.
Congratulations and thanks to all three of you. You've earned your gold stars from YouTube. Shout out to all my channel members. Say hi to the 8 new ones. Will, KB, Deathwish682, Timmy Jackson, Sven Wagner, Chintuples, Joe Tube, and Liam Maney. Next week's video is literally Kafka-esque.